This story was told to me by my father, and it is as follows. My grandfather was a miner, and to get to the mine he had to get up at 3 in the morning and walk up the mountain. He passed by the shore of a river, and on one occasion he saw a little girl dressed in old-fashioned clothes. At that time it would have been the middle of the 1800s. The girl made signs and, when he approached, she suddenly disappeared. Several days passed in which, as he walked by the riverbank, my grandfather kept seeing that apparition. When he mentioned it to his colleagues, who were rough miners from the province, they did not laugh as you might think. On the contrary, they were frightened and told my grandfather, "Speak to the soul, maybe you'll get the treasure." One day of rest, rare in those times, my grandfather got up thinking he was late. He scolded my grandmother and ran down the road toward the mine, only to realize nobody was there. The work had already been called off. It was strange that he hadn't met any of the workers on the way, until he reached the riverbank and remembered that there was no work that day. Upset, he started back home when suddenly he saw that little girl, no more than 5 years old, in an immaculately white dress and white boots, not a speck of mud on them. My grandfather approached and asked, "What are you doing here alone, child of God? Are you lost?" The girl answered, "Yes. Do me a favor, take me to the other side of the river. On that side is my house, and if you carry me across I will give you everything you want. My parents have a lot of money." My grandfather, distrustful and thinking 1,000 thoughts at once, wondered how a little girl of that age could be here at that hour in the rainy season with shoes so clean. The girl insisted, "Come on, sir, carry me and take me to the other side. This is the least deep part. I don't want to get dirty. I'll give you everything you want." Faced with her insistence, my grandfather agreed to carry her, but only as far as the middle of the river. When the girl settled on his back she said, "Just don't turn around. Listen to what you hear. On the other side there will be a large pot of coins, but don't turn around." He was already a third of the way across the river when he began to feel the weight on his back getting heavier and heavier. When he wanted to turn to see what was happening, the girl's voice urged him, "Don't turn, please. Hurry up, there's not much left." A few meters from the other shore, curiosity overcame him. When he turned, what a surprise! Instead of the girl he found a snake, or at least that's what he called it. Enormous and thick, with large fangs and thick drool running from its mouth. Terrified, my grandfather shouted, "Holy Mary," and threw that thing into the river. As it fell, the creature said, "I told you not to turn around. You were almost there, sir. Go ahead, take me." My grandfather did not listen. He fled without giving it his back. When he looked back as it submerged, he saw the other side of the river begin to burn. They say that when that happens, it is because they are showing you the treasure. My grandfather ran home and did not speak of what had happened until several days later, when he told his work friends. They reproached him for not having dug where he had seen the burning. My grandfather insisted that it was not for him, that it was the devil's doing. A few days later 2 of his friends disappeared. One was never found. The other was later found waiting along the river's shore, repeating, "I'll take you to the other side of the river. I'll take you to the other side of the river." Before dying, that friend, in a brief moment of lucidity, said that he and the other man had been at the place my grandfather had described, the place where the burning had been and where that monstrous being appeared, and that all he remembered was the girl asking them to help her cross the river. Nothing else.